So we're here today at the New Paradise Road store in Colombo with Shanth Fernando and Philip Viratna. Thank you so much for taking the time and talking to us, both of you, and fitting us in your busy schedule. So let's start at the start. What inspired your passion for design and collecting, curating?
See, it's a talent within myself that I treasure it and I developed with time.
Right.
Right through my school career, I won the art prize every year of my school career. In the 10 years, I have 10 prizes. Even when art wasn't a subject, I used to submit a painting to the old boys, art exhibition, and win a prize. My mother never came to a prize giving because she said, "You're winning prizes for talent and not for effort." Okay? Yeah. But anyway, it doesn't matter. She fostered my art. She's the one who encouraged me. She took my paintings to artists to find out what she should do with me. And they said, just let him paint. Don't send him to any art, classes because he'll be copying what other people do. Yeah. But we all get inspired by other artists, right? Yeah. So I carried on in my life like that. And by the time I was 19, I had lost both my parents. Oh. And then I was looking for a direction, and I ended up in the hotel industry.
Okay.
I mean, by chance, and I at the age of 21, I had a guest house of 5 rooms, which would be called today a boutique hotel, right. Which I decorated myself using the art that was available in this country at that time. Right. There was Geoffrey Bawa's style, and there was Barbara Sanzoni's color, and Ina de Silva's batik, and Lucky Saint-Lanka's paintings. Mm. These were the things, these were the elements that were the style of that day. But you see, I had always a passion for design. I mean, at home, I used to make Christmas trees with, flowers made out of kite paper, and we don't have proper Christmas trees here. I spray painted the Christmas tree white and put turquoise blue and lime green and cobalt blue flowers on it for Christmas, and did all these things. And that's my making. So all my life, creativity was there. And then, as I told you, by the age of 21, I went off to the Netherlands to do interior design. But since I was in hotels, I thought, no, I'm going to become a hotelier. So I went to hotel school. I lasted only a few months, and I speak perfect Dutch. Okay. After having gone to a language institute in Holland. And then I went and worked in hotels for a year, and I moved from there. But all the time, design was the most important thing for me. I used to go to art galleries. I was a collector. I had very little money, but I always bought art. Something to do with art that was creative. And then I went from there to New Zealand, and those were the worst 3 years of my life. Because New Zealand's the most beautiful country. You can take a photograph anywhere, and it's a picture postcard. Mm. And then from there, I found it so frustrating because it is very isolated and very narrow-minded that I moved to Australia, and I lived there for 10 years. And it's there that my creativity blossomed. Right. I mean, I used to go to all the art galleries. I'm familiar with all the art of Australia, the artists in Australia. I used to babysit my daughter in art galleries. And then, while I was working, the last hotel I worked in was a Hyatt. Okay. And at the Hyatt, I was a purchasing manager. Okay, I liked the job because it was 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. In the hotel industry, that is rare. Right. And while I was there, I became the curator of art for Hyatt in Sydney. Mm-hmm. So I saw start from a gallery and chose the art for the places within the hotel, and I was given carte blanche by the manager, the general manager of the hotel. And from there, I started a business, importing, because my children were small, child-oriented giftware from Europe. When I was doing that, I left Sri Lanka never to come back. And the Australian dollar collapsed in 1983. And I was approached by a supplier in Sri Lanka who made hand-painted toys.
Right.
And I started importing that. And that made me, I came to design my own toys in Sri Lanka. And that
Which
made
is when
me,
you launched your first collection.
my first collection, and I was selling it in Australia. Right, of toys and Noah's Arks, and mobiles and bookends and things like that. And when I started coming to Sri Lanka, I realized that I belonged here. And something told me that I had to come back here. So I came back. I came back after having lived in Australia for 10 years. And I started a little store. I mean, I came here to run my business in Australia, remote control. But that was impossible, right? But I'm a workaholic. And after about 2 months of being here, I was driving around with a friend and I saw a building on Flower Road. And I got this idea to open a shop. Because you see, I really it was in me. Something told me I open a shop. And I didn't have the money, so I called that guy. And he became an investor, a partner with me. And I went and I was buying baskets in the villages, painting them white, painting them black, buying shop fittings, right? And selling them as furniture. All these things that I had educated myself in taste to do. And I developed a style and a taste that is unique to Paradise Road. And it became Paradise Road. Why Paradise Road, you would ask me? You see, in Australia, there was a label which was very, very disciplined called Country Road that I liked very much. And when I was importing toys from Europe, I used to buy it from Paris. And one of the suppliers called Jeu d'aujourd'hui, that is toy playing today, okay? And I went to their warehouse in Paris in a taxi, and I read the sign on the road. It was only then that it struck me, and it read Rue de Paradis. And in my head, I translated Rue de Paradis as being Paradise Road. And I thought, what a great name for a business in Sri Lanka. I mean, we are called Paradise, right? So when I came, so that's how Paradise Road started.
So is Paradise Road inherently Sri Lankan in essence, or does it have international cultures also?
I'll tell you something. It's an eclectic taste.
Right.
I show what I like. It can be European antiques. It can be Sri Lankan antiques, but they're all put together.
Right.
And a style that is timeless.
Right.
You see, my taste is timeless.
Right.
I mean, whatever I have decorated, even if it's Tintagel, was done 17 years ago, and I don't have to redecorate it because it's not sort of.
It's not the trends.
You're trying to be something that you're not. I mean, if you look at the hotels today in Colombo, I mean, they're so vulgar, they're shining, they're all bling. You know what I'm saying? And if you walk into Tintagel, it has a warmth. I mean, to do that, now you're talking about taste. I went to Paris and I bought the chandeliers. In Paris, I bought the mirror. There's a chandelier that I bought in Amsterdam. The furniture, I went to China. If you look in the cupboards, all the cupboards there. The sofas came from Spain. So, you see, putting those things together and not making it look just another colonial building was my challenge. Everyone here, including, you see, Mr. Bawa used Sri Lankan colonial things and westernized it. But I brought it all together and created a taste and a style that was timeless. And I'm essentially, as you can see from this room, I'm essentially monochrome. Very black and white, like my face and my body, okay? And if you look at the pictures on the wall, so my style of living is to be monochrome and to put objects that give color, like this, on my table. So that contrasts.
Would you like to talk about the toy? Because we've been playing with it for the last 30 minutes.
This is... I don't want to advertise to the company, but it is the best toy company in the world and the most expensive. It's Neff in Switzerland. And these are toy. These are supposed to be toy. There we are. And look at the colors. So those are the things that I enjoy.
Right.
And these are the things that sort of boost my creativity and balance and all that is important.
Right.
See, for me, in designing, balance even in an object is very important. Look at this wall. Right. I was gifted 100 of those prints by the artist. I actually have the biggest private collection of this artist in the world. She's Belgian. She lives here. Right? She's Philip. Helped her with her house, the house that Taro Andu designed.
Right.
Philip.
We were local architects for it.
Right? He was a local architect for. And so what I'm trying to say is, and the reason why she is the most important component in my collection
Right.
is because she's also very monochrome.
True.
Her paintings are very black.
Right.
I mean, I would easily have a couple of 100 paintings by her.
Right.
Right?
So, Philip, you worked on Tintagel with Jean as
I
well.
was assistant architect to the main
I'll tell you
architect.
what it is. The reason why I love Philip for who he is and what he is. I am a very stubborn human being where design is concerned. I want what I want. And Philip gave me the leeway. I can remember the contractor coming and telling me, Mr. Philip said to listen to you.
Right.
I said, yes, I know what I want. And I go to Mr. Philip because he appreciates that.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you see, what I had a vision. I mean, you see, my mother wanted me to be an architect.
Right.
And it didn't work out. But I'm happy I wasn't an architect.
that's good.
Because my life became a canvas.
Right.
Everything that I sell in my shops in Paradise Road is designed by me and created by me and chosen by me. I can go, I buy things from India. I buy things from Spain. I buy things from everywhere. From Belgium, from Holland. I used to. Now we can't. The Sri Lankan rupee has collapsed. We are a bankrupt country.
Just to add a little bit more to what Shanth said, some layers which he may not see, which I can see,
Right.
is I think this island of Sri Lanka, and that's what you guys are trying to take back to Mumbai, is that this island and its way of life, maybe its people, the climate, all of that has really supported Shanth in what he has done. I'm not. I mean, he has it inherently in him.
All right, I may have. You see, I was able to expand what I had inside because I have a people that is humble and willing to listen.
True.
Right? Yeah. I think it would be impossible in India. But no, what I'm saying is because you know what you want.
Right. Yeah.
Here are people give us, being a Buddhist country, they give us, they're more tolerant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And they give us space. And space is what you need when you're a designer.
That's right.
You come with a vision. I mean, that's why I told you here, I'm a designer and he's a designer.
Yeah.
So he gave me space and that's why we could collaborate, on whatever we did.
Right.
I came with an idea and all of a sudden I would change,
Yeah.
So that is what any architect does. I mean, Geoffrey Bawa was known for that.
Yeah.
He'll start constructing. And if he didn't like something, he'll just demolish it and then start again.
Right.
Yeah.
But Philip and I have a blessing in life. We can see what other people don't see.
That's the point I was trying to get to.
We can see what other people can't see because we can imagine things.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We can imagine things in a place. Now, if I go and I'm buying something, I know where I'm going to put it. I'm an art collector. I have over 1,000 paintings, right? I have a private gallery in the house that Philip built for me, designed for me. And in there, I have over 1,000 paintings. Now, choosing art is also something very, very subjective.
Right.
Now, that's the latest painting I bought. That's over there, right? Now, it has to attract you. And you buy it because you have a place for it.
Correct.
You buy it because you have a space for it. Even I'm saying that, there's sometimes a space only in my heart because I've got a room full of paintings that I haven't even hung up.
Hung up, exactly.
Right.
So I know architects need to have that spatial awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, do gallerists and curators also need to have?
You see, I believe a client and an architect have to work together.
Right.
Because, in all honesty, there are lots of architects who can build monuments for people, right? Monuments for themselves, but not homes for the people who are living in it.
Or even copy somebody else's style.
That's right. And what I'm saying is, Philip works with people, giving them what they want, right? Now, there's nothing worse than walking into a house and finding that the people who live in it don't fit the home that they're living in.
True.
Correct.
Like fish out of water.
That's true.
Right? I mean, this is something that I learned in Australia, living in Australia, because at that time, Australia was developing. You know, we are talking 45, 50 years ago, but I moved there. It was developing, and everybody who was successful started employing interior designers. And those interior designers came and left their signature.
Yeah.
So you walked into a house, and you know bloody well who the interior designer was, because it wasn't showing the people who lived there. So that is very important, and that is something that Philip is able, I know, right, to give into with the client. You see, it's like when I have decorated homes for people, and I turn around and say, what do you want your home to do for you? Which is a very important thing. You see, what do I want this space to do for me?
Would you like to add something to that?
I think also one of the amazing things about, and I'm glad Shanth wasn't an architect because it would probably killed his creativity. I think he is who he is. He can see things beyond what an architecture school teaches, right? And that's the sort of freedom and fluidity that people need and architects need. And in all honesty, I think, and also maybe a humility to acknowledge people like Shanth. Because honestly, and I don't need to put him on a pedestal because he's anyway way up on a pedestal, but really working with him was like an educative process for us. Because I started seeing, wow, like you could actually put this door here or this rock in a garden, like when we did his house, like the way he paved the whole garden in this old stone, which is beautiful.
Right.
Any other person would say, I want a lawn. And then he placed these boulders. When we did another project down south, he brought these massive boulders and placed them in the garden. And so all these subtle, like he had the ability to break out of this sort of, we are trained so much to think with a certain geometry, but he knew when to break the geometry.
Right.
He knew when to break the symmetry.
Right.
And I think that was what was
because you need contrast. You see, one of the most important things, and that is where a lot of people today fail. You have to be tactile.
Right.
You have to work with different textures. That's the way you can bring warmth. It's like this rock that's here. Right, but this has a contrast.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You need those. You need those juxtapose to give you warmth.
Yeah, I think somebody else would have put 3 objects that you need to match it.
Right.
Right, and that's what sometimes
the usual thing would be to put it like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
So it's sort of
Yes, composition.
the composition is in place.
See, so this is the magic of developing yourself. I'm a 75-year-old man. Okay.
Right.
So all my life I've traveled the world. I've been around the world. My most favorite places are Paris and Milan. Okay, and I go to Italy often. I used to. And where I go, I absorb warmth. And that is the most important thing in any project.
Right.
Creating warmth. I mean, there's nothing worse than living in a minimal, cold interior.
I think that's another thing that Shanth introduced me to was Paris. The first time I ever went to Paris, he gave me this whole list of stores and antique markets, and also that's what I was talking about. He's not just only about the objects; it's also about the food, about the places, about like where to go and have the best confit de canard, and where to have the best chocolate mousse. So I think that's all part of.
So coming back to Paradise Road, you recently put up a.
You see, I'll tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you a story about Paradise Road. So I started this little shop on Flower Road that attracted Geoffrey Bawa. Because Geoffrey Bawa was the sort of icon that you had in this country, right? And he used to come at least once a month, and he acknowledged my taste. And that to me was actually an encouragement or recognition that boosted my progress. And when I came to Sri Lanka, I was living in a home designed by him.
Right.
And he was a big influence in the Sri Lankan style of living. But then again, I went against it and did my own thing, which he appreciated. And is that right? And I had the privilege of living in doing businesses and living in 4 different spaces that he had built or he had influenced. So I opened this little shop, and then Habitat came from London and wanted me to be their agent, because the head of Habitat started shopping with me every year. He used to come for Ayurveda in Sri Lanka, and he wanted me to be the agent. So he sent all this team from Paris, from France, and all these places to meet me. And I felt terribly shy because I had this little shop, So then I saw this other building, an old house that they were going to demolish opposite the town hall. And I tried very hard to get it. And before they arrived in Sri Lanka, I set up a new shop, right? Called Promenade. Then it was called Promenade. Paradise Road Promenade. And they came, and then we went around, and they told me what they wanted to do. And then I turned around and asked them, how much is in this for me? They said, oh, you get 5%. I said, 5%. And I had to run the infrastructure to set up shop, packaging, labeling, and do all these things for 5%. I said, 5%. And then he said, yes, we're Habitat. I said, I'm Paradise Road. And that was the end of it. Okay? So from there, we had that shop. And as I told you, I sort of befriended Geoffrey Bawa. He became a good acquaintance. I don't use the word friend because I still respect him. And I asked him for my most favorite building in the world.
His own?
No. The Gallery Cafe.
Right.
That was his office.
His office, sorry.
So I took it over 27 years ago and transformed it to what it is today. He only placed the pavilion where it is. I chose all the materials and the interior, furniture and everything. And he couldn't participate because he suffered a stroke. So after I was running it for about 2 months, he came. And fortunately, I had a very beautiful exhibition. I had the most provocative first exhibition of Lala Went on the walls, right? And he loved it. You've heard of Lala Went?
No.
He's the photographer of Sri Lanka who died in 1944. He photographed. He was pre-Mapplethorpe. But, if I get the connotation, Mapplethorpe and Man Ray, he was maybe a parallel to Man Ray, but not to Mapplethorpe. And so I had all these bums and all, it was totally provocative, and a lot of people, it was a shock to people that I was the first to show the real Lala Went. And Geoffrey Bawa came there. He looked at this exhibition and he saw his space transformed by me. And when he left, he was a man who could say very little after his stroke. I said, thank you, Mr. Bawa, for coming. And he looked at me and cried. And he said, beautiful. And that is the biggest gift I got in my life of approval from this man that I respected so much, right, in this country. So what I'm trying to say is that all these things were disciplines in creating a style and an image in Sri Lanka that was accepted. I mean, now you can Google Paradise Road and you'll find out who I am.
Right.
But it was a lot of hard work. I worked from early morning till late at night. I worked in my restaurant. I worked in my hotel. I worked in. I worked behind the bar.
Right.
So everything that I did in my life, working in hotels, all those things helped me to become the man I am.
So it's plain and simple perseverance.
That is.
And hard work.
And hard work. Yeah.
And hard work, a hell of a lot of hard work. I mean, here, to tell you honestly, I'm the way I am today after my AstraZeneca.
But also to add to what one of the things that Shanth, he was probably the first person in Sri Lanka to appreciate a heritage building and convert it into store. Until then, everybody wanted to demolish these heritage buildings and put up like high rises and.
Mind you, I only have 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
You went to Paradise Road?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you look at it, one wing has been demolished and there's a modern construction. But I tried to sort of make it look as though this is behind.
Yeah.
And also, like if you take the two Bawa properties, one is the Gallery Cafe, and the other one which we worked with him on was the Villa Bentota.
Yeah.
He, a lot of people might hate me for saying this, but he actually took it beyond Bawa.
Right.
Whereas a lot of people would just try to copy Bawa. He had the ability to add a layer or two or three onto that building. If you look at
But
Gallery
using
Cafe.
his taste.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Trying to
Keep capturing his essence.
I mean, creating something like that, and to me and to Philip, the most important thing is to balance the space, right? And that is something that people find it very difficult to do.
Right.
And also, you have a problem that a lot of architects do not know proportions,
Right.
right? For example, the house that Philip has built for me, every single door is 10 foot high.
Right.
Which is so handsome, right?
exactly.
And high ceilings. And those are things, those are elements that really make, getting perspectives right, which few architects can do, right? They try to take a little bit from this one and a little bit of that one, without creating an identity for themselves.
And I think just open their eyes and see what people like Shanth are doing rather than, just completely block it or be critical or try to imitate.
You see, when you talk Geoffrey Bawa was like, I would say, any fashion designer.
Okay.
Fashion designers have a name, and they have assistants who also design. And the designer gives his kiss of approval.
Right.
Not everyone is a genius. So if you see versatility in architecture, it's a team effort. And Philip has a very good team in his office.
Right.
So, and you can't deny that everybody is blessed with an ability. And he is able to accept, like the way he speaks to me now, or he's speaking to you now,
Right.
to accept that we all have some kind of talent and some kind of aesthetic that you have to work with.
Okay. So I want to conclude this our conversation. You have recently, we've recently had the pop up in Bombay for Paradise Road.
Yeah.
How do you want? I mean, how would you want Indians and people in Bombay to experience Paradise Road? What is
Tell them to come to Sri Lanka. That's what it's all about. I mean, from the very beginning, for the last 37 years of running Paradise Road,
Right.
I've had a request every month, every year, more than one request to come to India.
Right.
But you have to come to Sri Lanka.
Which is what
This is Sri Lankan. I mean, this pop-up was done because my daughter Annika wanted me, or my children wanted me to do it. to have a pop-up, but I didn't want to. You know, I feel that if you want this stuff, it's not everyone's cup of tea,
Right.
right? There are people who know, you know, this style of living that will come and buy. Now, if I go to India, I mean, you've got shops there like Rare Earth and shops like that, but to be in India, one has to be very commercial because your market is huge.
Right.
Right? Your market is huge. So to do something unique in India is impossible because if I take something unique to India, they'll immediately copy it because I've just seen that happening where my ceramics that I've designed have been copied in India. So what I'm saying is you're into, you know, for me, life is not all about money, it's about succeeding. If money was the most important thing, I don't think I'd be doing what I did.
Right. It's a lovely way to close the conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time and having this chat with us. It's been truly
I mean,
inspiring.
when you brought me in here, I didn't know what you were coming in for, but I gave you what I could.
Yes. Oh, it's been more than perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.